Hunter?
Do I know that voice?
Hunter, snap out of it!
Ah. I coaxed myself out of my little daze, finding kind blue eyes staring at me. Unamused, kind blue eyes. Harry.
Are you quite finished daydreaming?
I smile at him, because as much as Harry tries to be annoyed with me, he's adorable when he's angry. Oh, is it from his husband, former husband's point of view? Yes, it is. I am, Major Eddington. Very sorry, sir. Let the little mouth twitch and attempt to stifle a smile. I know him too well, and as humble as I try to be, Harold Eddington III cannot resist me.
Stop that!
Oh, he blushes. Stop what? I'm not doing anything. He sighs, loud, pitiful.
Yes, you are. You're looking at me like that. How many times do I have to remind you that I'm your superior, Hunter Lane?
Very interesting. I feign contemplation, just twisting the knife a little more, making him squirm. Oh, maybe a few more times might do the trick. We both laugh when he sways my arm, but Harry is quick to straighten himself up. Ever the professional.
I have an assignment, something out of town. It might take us a few days if we're lucky.
He looks at the papers that have been deposited on his desk, a pretty sizable pile for a simple missive by the look of it. A little gateway, just the two of us. Harry rolls his eyes, scoffing.
If you consider hunting a rogue clan of witches romantic.
Then he looks at me, eyes narrowed.
You do, don't you?
I shrug, stepping forward to push the papers from beneath his fingertips. I rest my hand up upon his waist, crowding close until he has no choice but to sit upon the surface of his desk. Any time spent alone with you is time I cherish, my love. The flush that sweeps across his cheeks is charming, as always, and when I lean in to brush his lips with my own, gone is the stiff formality of Enforcer General Eddington, in its place as the man that I love. My partner in all things. My soulmate. We're both in need of some time away from here, don't you think? Even if it does involve us being knee-deep in angry witches.
Sweet talk me some more, please. I don't know how I ever resisted you.
They are kinda cute. I raise an accusatory brow. You didn't. He helps quietly, but my statement is irrefutable.
So smug.
Unconsciously, we both cast the door a glance. It's closed, and I lean in to lose myself in his kiss once more. They say that nothing lasts forever, but all that felt like to me was a lie told by people who never truly found love like I did. I knew that Harry was special when I first met him. We found a connection immediately, only to have it turn asunder when he failed the initiation. But even with an ocean between us, both of us sent on such different paths, we still found our way back to one another. 5 years, 10 years, 15. A partnership forged out of love, trust, and strength. We were unstoppable. I'd do anything for Harry, but in the end, that's why it all began to go wrong. You shouldn't leave, not right now. Your people need you. I need you.
I have little choice. Such meetings cannot be postponed. Do not pull the I need you card. Things are under control now, James. Besides, it's just a few days. I shall be back before you know it.
His smile is as bright as it's always been, but it doesn't reach his eyes. They are cold and tired. In a way, I can't help but blame myself for Harry's recent boldness. I've always encouraged him to think outside the box, to stop being so rigid when it comes to following the rules. And now... Please, Harry, this has to stop. He averts his gaze, twisting his wedding band nervously. I know you think you're doing the right thing, but it's not worth it. None of this is worth it. I step closer, taking both of his hands in my own and tugging at him to look at me. He refuses, still staring longingly out of the window. I love you too much to let this destroy you. Think of everything you've achieved. Would you throw that all away just to make some numbers look good?
It's not about numbers, and you know it. It is about saving people's lives, about stopping those things from overwhelming us until we're nothing but...
He pauses, closes his eyes, then he carefully pries his hands from mine.
It's about doing what I swore to do, fulfilling my duty as protector of this country, protecting you.
I can protect myself. Harry flinches at my words, exhaling sharply.
We will discuss this further upon my return, but I must go. The carriage will be waiting for me.
Do not share this, Harry. You're further away from perfecting it than you think, and you know it. At that he smiles, shaking his head. He steps closer to cup his hand to my jaw.
You've always underestimated me, my love.
He kisses me, and something about the way he does so makes me believe it's for the last time. After Harry's departure, I sat at our kitchen table and wrote him a letter before my nightly patrol. I knew it wouldn't make it to him before his meeting. In fact, I wasn't even going to send it. I just had a feeling. My dearest Harry. I will read that in his voice. My dearest Harry, as much as I'd love to muse about how long for you to return, to lay with me in your hour bed, I am afraid this letter comes with a less light-hearted message. I'm worried. These experiments are troubling me, and I've been unable to sleep soundly since you showed me last week. I fear something terrible will happen that we won't be able to hide, that you won't be able to recover from. Is this really what they cursed all of us with all these years ago? I always knew we were different, that something within us made us stronger, but... Children, Harry. We were children. Think about that before you continue with this. Think about their intentions, and why no one has attempted this before. I've been leaving for a hunt this evening, missing you every step of the way, my power dulled without you standing strong by my side. All I ask of you is that you slow down, perfect things before you dare to implement your plan. I'm not sure how much longer I can sit back and watch, just waiting for it to go all wrong. I love you, and I just want my husband back. We can make it through anything, as long as we are together. Always yours, James. So he's doing experiment with the monster blood, similar to the initiation of the hunters. So it's Harry who's responsible. Oh boy. The graveyard is peaceful, the air is cool, and the sky clear. The crunch of gravel under my boots is strangely comforting, and I feel a sense of calm washing over me as I stop in front. I think it should say step. As I step in front of a newly placed headstone. I crouch down, tracing the carved letters with my fingertips. James Addington Lane, brave hunter, loving husband, cherished friend. I don't know how to voice that, cause I don't know the name. I haven't seen this yet. I stand, my vision blurring. There's a searing yet familiar pain in my temple as I turn and see a tall figure before me, silhouetted by bright moonlight. They would put the hunter part first, wouldn't they? James steps closer, standing by my side and sparing as grave a glance. The second you become a hunter, it trumps everything else. You're not even really considered a human first anymore. Has a bit of Witcher vibes with that, right? Also with the initiation. I look at James, studying his features, registering that he's here, flesh and bone and alive? Or am I dead? He shakes his head. No, but you're somewhere in between, just like me. Just like you? I look down and press my hand over my ribs, and it comes away crimson. My arm is jagged and torn, my clothes saturated with blood. When I look back at James, his brow is furrowed, and I see a shadow emerging from the blackened tree line behind him. A familiar sight, lumbering, misshapen, not human. It's behind you. My words are monotone, though I intended for them to be a warning. My throat feels tight, and I'm once again stuck where I stand. He shakes his head, ignoring the looming threat, his eyes focused on me, and me alone. It's not real. You killed him, after all. Him? Is that a failed hunter experiment? You simply did what I couldn't, what I should have done. I froze. I was too afraid to hurt someone I knew. As a hunter, you know you cannot hesitate, cannot second guess. If you do, people die. He's right. They teach us to be ruthless in our decisions. If it can kill you, you kill it first. It trolled me. I thought that was how it got you. He shakes his head. I saw... He pauses, mouth agape, as if he wants to say it, but something stops him. You saved them, Ethan. Though your job isn't done just yet. I stare at him blankly, trying to comprehend where I am, why he's here, just everything. What did they do to us? He simply smiles. It's somber, almost pained. It's easier if I show you. Oh, that looks nice. Not fitting to the music. I stare up at the familiar building that are now before me, a bitter taste blooming upon my tongue. I grew up here, learned how to kill here, how to survive. They promised us the world, said we'd be heroes. As a naive child, I might have even believed them, and yet... in reality, we're nothing but pawns. Feels different now, doesn't it? I was so excited to be chosen. Most of us are. They make it feel like passing the initiation, some kind of coveted honor. A mixture of horror and honor. If not an honor, then what? James looks down at his hands, turning his palms skyward. I see scars, not unlike the ones that cover my own skin, and he looks back up. A curse. Yeah, that looks more fitting to this artwork. Suddenly, the sky turns an inky black. The moon is full, hanging low, and the stars are sparse, but bright. With every sigh, James turns to me. Are you ready? Ready for what? To finally find out how hunters are really made. Yeah, I mean, Witcher Hunter. I think back to the comment Finn made the other day, smiling to myself. I heard that we grow on trees. James laughs. If it only were that simple, Ethan. What do you remember of the initiation? I stare at him blankly, my memories non-existent past waking up in my bed the next day. Feeling stronger, feeling different, feeling better. He tilts his head at me, smiling. As I suspected, they're very good at making you forget what they need you to, aren't they? You would have been taken into the courtyard at night, right here where we stand. They then would have asked you to take your oath, to pledge yourself to the cause. Which would have offered you a vial of something which they then expect you to ingest. It's the blood, isn't it? I look down at my hand, something cold appearing in my palm. A vial, just as James said. The liquid inside is black, vicious, and glowing. I remember, I think. They say those that fail experience a great discomfort, vomiting, convulsions. Though, it's still a mystery what makes us different from them. I uncork the vial, bringing the mixture to my nose. It smells bitter, like copper. I close my eyes, my heart pounding. Then the words roll off my tongue, as if possessed. I swear that no night will be traversed in fear, that morning will be a promise and not a hope. I swear I shall lay down my life in the cause of my duty, to protect the vulnerable from the creatures of this realm and any beyond it. Until my final breath, I pledge myself to you, body, mind, and soul. Then I remember the way it tasted, the way it made me retch and fall to my knees. I dug my fingers into the dirt until they bleed. My skin cracked and my nails split. It burned my throat and my body fought hard to reject it. But I lost. When I opened my eyes, the vial was gone. Not dead, nor not of the living. Bind them and reveal to them the strength of ascension. We summon you to reach your wizened hands to them. Let them be the vessel that will carry us onward. It is written that this power is our right to wield. Give to their body what separates man from the vulnerability of the flesh. Be that which may push the boundaries of our mortal coil. The blood of the vampire, creatures of the night, consumer of life. Impart your keen awareness and resilience, but not be shun of the light or endlessness of life. The blood of the Fae, tricksters incarnate, denizens between realms. Impart your cunning and agile grace, but leave your weakness to the elements. The blood of the demon, purveyors of evil, guardians of the realms. Impart your strength, but not your anger. The blood of the lichen. That's why they have all those creatures locked up in the dungeons. They're taking their blood. That's why they take the vampire's blood. How was he called? Finn and... I'm so bad with names. Furio? No. Whatever. Predators under the moon, beasts of instinct. Impart your primal power, but not the madness within. Blood. Why does it always have to be fucking blood? My hands shake, my breathing quickening, and James watches me with concerned gaze as the realization washes over me. I'm just like them. We all are. The things that we are trained to kill are part of us. They made us monsters. He nods, and I gather it's been a burden, knowledge that he's carried for far too long. Fight fire with fire, as they say. A simple human wouldn't stand a chance against the beasts we face. The early hunters were true warriors who fought and died too quickly for us to stand a chance. An order was formed, people who had known of the creature's existence before the day of revelation. People who had befriended them, worshipped them even. They formed the agency, the first enforcers. They studied the way vampires infect us, the way lichens can curse us. It's simple biology, a touch of magic, and they have carefully curated a weapon on their hands. I do not know how long it took them to perfect it, and I dread to think how many lives were lost. But then, what is Harry's plan? To give more blood? To experiment with further stages? And it was truly a matter of time until someone took it too far. I just never thought it would happen in the place I called home. I look at him, and he waits expectantly, watching me with a furrowed brow. Someone in Lunaris. Slowly, all the pieces begin to fall into place. Fiero. Wow. Furio, Fiero. Same difference. Alkar, Aya, Azazel. Creatures captured needlessly, hunters missing and dying. Yeah, there isn't a creature doing that. Oh god. I need to go back. I need to find out who and stop them. To protect... Isn't it obvious that it's Harry? I bow my hands into fists, my heart a hammer in my chest, my head spinning. Something is wrong. James reaches out with wide eyes, but his hand passes through me. Breathe, Ethan. My vision blurs, and I feel everything around me falling away into darkness. Something is calling out to me, a force pulling and tugging, violent in its desire to bring me back. James. He looks defeated, but he stands a little taller, though he smiles, and my heart aches for him. A fallen hero killed simply for being kind. You have so much left to do. It's not your time. Not yet. Of all the wrong he's done, he did well in choosing you, Hunter Everflight. You've made me proud, made all of them proud. It would have been such an honor to fight by your side. James stands stoic and stalwart. I'm not certain where I am, and yet he remains with poise, somewhere in between and still as strong as when he was living. Something tells me he's waiting. For what, I'm not entirely sure, but I hope that whatever it is, he finds it. His peace, maybe. Tell Harry that I love him. Could you love someone who did such terrible things? Who experimented on hunters against their will? Who got so many kills? Well, then, with a smile, he slowly fades away.